Merry Christmas. Actually, it's not Christmas, but it is snowing here in England, so I figured I'd get... Oh, that's my crotch. Up here. Okay, I've not got a cold or anything, that's my way of laughing, apparently, today. But anyway, what I wanted to address is the fact that these cubes are both imported from Blender. This one inside of Blender is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So is this one. But the difference is, when they're imported into Second Life, this one doubles in size. Now, a lot of you may already know this, I don't know. But I've been using 3ds Max for about 20 years now, and I've just come over from 3ds Max to Blender. Of course, they've made massive improvements to the interface, which before used to really put me off. So yeah, I've migrated to Blender. Now, I'm using Blender 2.91 at the moment, so let's go ahead and delete these ones, like so. And let's go back into Blender. See, in 3ds Max, if I were to export this, I mean, she is about 2.9 meters in height. So if I were to build a scene around her, it would be perfectly sized within Second Life. But with Blender, there seems to be a bit of a different thing. And that's because, say if you set this to 1, I don't know why, but obviously it's the calculations between Blender and Second Life. Say if I went to, let's just sort of easy boop, yeah, E, I don't know, scale. Look at those fancy modeling skills, man. Man, I'm so cool. Just gonna sort of just do a bit of a, I don't know, extrude. Whatever. It's my new friend, right? Anyway, so now if I were to go ahead and come out of edit mode, come out of mesh mode, whatever you want to call it. If I were to go ahead and export this, export selected, as a DAE on desktop, these are my previous examples. So let's call it Buddy 001. If I can upload the other one and it go missing for a couple of days, let's just say I got curious. Okay, so now we're gonna, actually what I want to do is make sure that this is, because I don't want to show any bias towards it, so I'm going to delete this because I don't want to show any bias, and you know, by saying, oh yeah, it's just something that you didn't do in here. So operator presets, so file export, operator presets, Second Life and OpenSim, static. And these are these are just things that I've been doing through trial and error this morning. Export collada. Now if I go over here, build, let's turn that bloody snow off. It was a novelty to begin with. Okay, Buddy. I called it Buddy. It's got a name for a reason. Okay. If we upload that, this, I guarantee that this is, let's see, this is about 1 meter in scale. Let's just go ahead and reset the scales of justice. Okay, look at all this stuff. Look at it all. God, flipping. Anyway, now look at that. That's doubled in size. There's medications for that, but they never work. Trust me. That's doubled in size. So, forget I said that. Now, if we were to go ahead and go back into Blender and turn come under here, on the scene properties, and turn this down to, what we want to do is half that. So we want to tell Blender that whatever you export as DAE, when it comes into Second Life, you want to take that scale that you've for some reason come up with and then half it to that. So this, if I'm correct, is, yeah, 2.7, which is, anyway. Fuck, so what's wrong with me? think I've had too much coffee. Right. Static. Okay, so we're going to call this buddy 2. .dae. Export the collider. Now, if we import this into Second Life, upload mesh. I should really be using OpenSim, shouldn't I? OS grid. Buddy 002. If we put this next to it, this should be to scale, as you can see. As you can see, if we, for example, put down a box, this is 1 meter in height, which you can see is pretty much sort of fits. It is exactly 1 meter in height, which is what this should be. You see? So what you need to do is, what I would suggest doing is, say we can go ahead and X, delete that, and then Shift A, Mesh Cube, File. I've not got any cameras in here. I've actually got a, that's not right, is it? Control 3. Oops, there's 4. Oh, that's why. So basically, she is 2.9 meters. This is a model that I imported. If anybody wants it, then just, I don't mind providing it. But I got this off the free 3D models website many years ago. And I just figured, you know, she's like the liquidator in Blender. So, sounded very corny there. She's like a liquidator in Blender. But yeah, so to recap, if we go ahead and let's go ahead and actually save. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, so that's what the problem is. If you guys are having that problem, I'm not sure how it works in 2.7, but in 2.8, and I'm using 2.91. Sorry. It has that problem, and I couldn't work out why. I couldn't really find anything on Google about it. Everyone was saying, oh, you know, just use a scale of 1 and use imperial meters and stuff, and imperies, whatever, imperies. And it'll work, but that wasn't working for me in 2.91. And I've just come from 3ds Max, so I hope this guy's helped you. I hope this helped you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna shoot myself in the face. Anyway, yeah, hope this helped you guys. As I said, this could be subject to change with future Blender updates, but for the moment, these are the settings that I'm using, 0.5, because as I said, it will half the scale. For some reason, with 1 it doubles it, but 0.5, which is half of 1, obviously. I just got my degree in mathematics, like, never. That seems to work. So, again, thank you for watching, and I will bid you adieu. Cheerio.